Nick in Ohio. Hi, Nick. What are you doing?
Hey, guys. Well, I'm just doing my art thing.
Oh, okay.
But my question is, I wonder how this is affecting the workplace from the top down to the bottom. You know, Kerr is a player's coach, and, you know, he's very sympathetic to Wiggins and all. But I wonder what Joe Lacob thinks. What is it going through his mind? And then all the way down to the bench players or young guys, seeing how much rope, how long leash that Wiggins always gets a pass. And, you know, that's got to affect coworkers. I know, you know, the story of the woman who, a waitress who got a tip of $10,000, and she was told by the tipper to share it with the other waitresses, and she did. But then all kinds of resentment took place in the kitchen, so it's a little different situation. But in the kitchen, all the other workers had resentful, and she ended up getting fired. And so it just, you never know what can affect other people that have to buck up and do their job. And, you know, that's where I'm coming from.
Well, yeah, Nick, totally. Thank you. And that's kind of what I'm getting at, which is that just because you're going to hear support in front of microphones, I find it impossible to believe that there aren't certain people with the Warriors organization who are, I don't know if the right word is upset, because, again, I don't know what happened.
Right.
But I would be shocked if there aren't members of the organization that aren't a little put off.
Frustrated?
Yeah.
That's fair to say.
Yeah.
And they'll never speak on it on the record, and the Warriors have been very good about avoiding leaks, other than the Draymond Jordan Poole incident, which was a very dramatic leak that came from somewhere, somehow. We don't know where. And the organization said that they would find out who leaked that and they would act accordingly. And we never heard about anybody being fired for that or anything of that sort. But you do get the sense that the first time this happened and Andrew Wiggins missed 25 games, we never heard definitively what it was. You and I actually made a bet that I lost, and I still owe you, and I'll pay you at some point.
It's all right.
No, I will pay you, because you're going to pay me.
No, I don't want you to pay me.
No, you're going to pay me.
I did not.
Brother.
I did.
I owe you a pizza. You owe me babysitting.
You just buy yourself a pizza and give it to the baby.
No.
We're fine.
And you're trying to stall me out to when she's out of diapers in a year. So I got about a year until.
I'm waiting a lot longer than that.
Yeah, no, 2.5. She's a girl.
Nope.
She'll be out early.
Nope. I'm waiting until she's 8. And they're like, here's an
Let's
iPad.
Go bowling. Exactly. Here's an iPad. Don't talk to me.
Waittill8.com.
You don't know me. I don't know you.
Yeah.
I don't think that we're going to find out. So we probably won't find out if the organization is frustrated or if the teammates are frustrated.
No, we're never going to know anything.
Right.
Ever.
And there
won't be a documentary on VH1 in 18 years.
If it's a 30 for 30, it'll be 30 seconds.
No, Andrew Wiggins is going to be just like there's a lot of athletes. Bill Buckner is one of the more famous ones. Carson Palmer is another one. They're good, like Tim Lincecum.
I was just going to say.
Never going to hear from Andrew again. He's going to be gone.
Yeah.
Ghost. Gone in his next career. He's not getting hired by TNT. Mike and Hayward. Hi, Mike. What you doing?
How you guys doing? I would just like to say, and I like to go on one side or the other. I think there's an obligation for employees to expect the employee to act a certain way to come to work, right? But I think the higher ground is that there's an ethical thing where the employer is not really obligated to accommodate an employee. I have an issue with that, and not that I don't know what his problem is, but it seems like I worked for 32 years, right, as a probation officer, right? And one time my boss told me, well, my mother died. Well, how long are you going to be gone? I said, as long as it takes me to come back. I got the time on the book, and I knew the rules right way. So the Warriors, at some point, I don't think they're that comfortable with it, but they're obligated. They're already obligated to him to accommodate him from the last time. So when he comes back, and if he's gone 28 games, we might not see him to the playoffs.
Why not?
So what? Let Moody play. Let's see what we all been talking about. What Moody ain't getting no time. Let's see what Moody can do.
But that's what they're going to do, Mike. But they don't. Here's the other thing, though. You're right. They have no choice. They have no choice. That's why I think it's interesting when people are like, "Well, the Warriors are showing you with their actions." No, they're not. There's one thing that they can do here. One
Wait.
thing. They can put Moses Moody in the game and sit there and go, we love Andrew. Not a damn other thing they can do.
Right.
Anything else that they do, they would get absolutely ripped or potentially, hell, they could be sued depending on how it went, depending on what they said.
Sure, but they could come out and say, well, he's going to miss games for X, Y, and Z reason.
Could.
And if it's not violating HIPAA laws, then they could do that. If they wanted to burn Andrew to the ground, if it was something that people would perceive as soft or weak, and the team wanted to do that to Andrew, they could. So there are different ways they could go about it. Now, the Warriors choose to be a classy organization, which I love. I love that
As do I.
about
Yes.
Dunleavy and Kerr and Joe Lacob and all the way through the organization. There's been no leak. There's been rumor and conjecture, but none of that's come from anyone even close to the Golden State Warriors. So there are different ways they can go about it, but you're right. The best way is to swallow hard and tell Andrew, take as long as you need. And we got depth. And you mentioned this from your interview yesterday, you and Grandy. I was out. You talked to Steve Kerr, and he was mentioning how it's hard to play 11 guys. And well, now it's getting easier to worry about your rotation when one of your key people is out. Playing time is less of an issue now.
Yeah. By the way, a little bit of breaking news in that from the New York Knicks, Jalen Brunson intends to play in the game this afternoon. Intends to play. That's an interesting word. He intends to, but then maybe he won't.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people who intend to do things, but then they don't do them.
I intend to catch the 407 BART train.
Well, good luck.
Not sure if I'm going to make it in time.
Yeah, Tom Thibodeau said he's going to warm up with the intention of playing.
With the intention of playing.
Okay.
Yeah. That's a funny word.
Yeah.
I intended to not step on your foot, but your foot.
Darn it.
Yeah.
Slid right under me. Warriors favored by 3.5 tonight.
Ooh, that's shot down.
At the Garden.
That's shot down. With Brunson's intention to play and Wiggins being out. No, that number was 5 or 6.
Oh, it was?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I'm just looking at ESPN.
Yeah, no, that number, in fact, that number was 5 as recently as an hour ago.
Okay.
And so that's probably Brunson.
I've made my bet on the Warrior game already.
Oh, what'd you do?
Steph Curry over 30 points.
Oh, well, it's Madison Square Garden. He'll have that by halftime.
Well, his line, I think, is 28.5, but I juiced it up to 30 to get better odds.
Get a little odds.
Yeah, but it's like plus 120 on over 30.
You're feeling spicy.
Look at me.
I love spicy dibs.
Steph in the Garden.
Let's go to Daniel in Indiana. Hi, Daniel. What's up?
Hey, what's up, guys? How's it going?
Good.
So, couple things real quick. I wanted to go back to about a month and a half ago when I said that Kuminga was producing the same amount as Pascal, and you guys told me it couldn't be like fantasy basketball. Now I'm looking pretty good, right? Like,
yeah, you are.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. No, I'm not going to rip you guys too hard on it, but one of the things I've been a coach, and
Good,
the
we
most
would've laughed
important
it off.
abilities. Yeah.
Anyway, go.
So the most. I've been a coach. The most important abilities are availability and dependability. And, I don't know what Wiggins is going through. I mean, it could be, depression. It could be alcoholism. It could be all kinds of different things and things that we don't really need to get into. But the point is that it's still a business. You do have to find the production for the guy. He is the fourth guy on the roster as far as production goes. So I'm not too worried about being able to replace him. But, at the same time, I agree. I'm with you guys. I love the empathy that this team shows. I love that they care about their players and all that. At the same time, if it wasn't for, Guy Santos playing down in Santa Cruz, he'd be the one starting over Moody, in my opinion. Why is he starting, down in Santa Cruz, hurting his knee, doing all that, when he should be like the second or third forward, honestly, on the roster.
Well, because Daniel, you got to play. I mean, that's actually a gift to those guys. Thank you very much. I know we all get upset sometimes. It's like, what's he doing down in Santa Cruz? Well, he's trying to get better. He's trying to play basketball. Jordan Poole, once upon a time, went down to Santa Cruz a bunch and ended up being a $130 million player, and then he ended up being what he is now. So that's not the greatest example, but you get what I'm saying. Like, that wasn't some sort of like disrespectful blow it off type of a thing. Guy Santos being on buses and benches throughout the year, that doesn't help him. He's got to play basketball to continue to get better. I also do not think in any way, shape, or form Guy Santos would be starting in place of Andrew Wiggins tonight if he were healthy. That's a little bit of a different position, and I know people are fascinated by him. I am as well. He looks good in an incredibly small sample.
Right.
But if you want to see the Moses Moody crowd get upset, watch Guy Santos get the start over Moody and keep him on the bench, and watch how people would react to that.
It would be outrage, and Moody has earned it. And Grandy, our very own Mark Grandy, technical director, tweeted out that the Warriors are 4-1 in Moody starts this year.
Mm-hmm.
Very small sample, but the fact is they're 4-1 in those starts. So we'll see if he's officially in the lineup when that gets released here later in this hour.
Let's keep going. Matt in Oakland. Hey, Matt, what's up?
Hey, fellas, how you doing?
Good.
I do think Wiggs owes something more than your average schmo. There's an ancient philosophy that the more a man is worth, the more he owes to society. But putting that aside, counting up his, on the basketball side, salary cap, blah blah blah, all that other stuff. Is he really better than Moody in terms of reliability and what they could get for Wiggins next year, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera? I'm not sure that he is.
Well,
I'm curious what you guys thought.
Yeah, thanks, Matt. It's a completely different skill set. And so there's one thing that I think Moody we probably feel he's better than Andrew at, and that is the word consistency.
I thought you were going to say trying.
Well, again, I don't look at the way certain bodies cruise and
Right.
feel like that means they're not trying. Andrew sweats. He does. They give him towels when he comes off of the floor.
Right.
So
I sweat in my sleep.
Well, that's gross. But anyway, I
get your point, though.
Moses is often exactly what he is. I feel like he knocks down open threes. He can play a little bit of defense. He's got a big body. He's aggressive. All of that is there just about every time we see him. But it's a completely different skill set that is well short of what Andrew can do when Andrew's at his best.
Yes, and I love that. The qualifier that we always put on every Andrew Wiggins sentence.
At his best.
When Andrew is at his best, or when Andrew is committed, or when Andrew plays downhill, or as Steve Kerr said at the very beginning of the year when we interviewed him on our weekly segment, when Andrew plays with force. Anything that you say about Andrew has to include a when, or if and when, in terms of Andrew Wiggins. And Moses Moody's been inconsistent, but the one thing that I haven't seen him lack is effort. So especially now where he's fighting for his life. He's playing for his career. He's got a team option for next year. And if they bring back Andrew, they probably won't bring back Moses.
Yeah. But I'm smiling as you're saying this because look at this. Look at this.
Is that look
at the length of that text.
And that's from another one of your pro athlete buddies?
I've never had conversations with these people this long in my entire life.
So set the table. You texted about 12 to 15 former athletes.
I texted 14 former athletes. That wasn't a number that I was shooting for. That's just how many
you were going through your phone.
I went through the phone, and there's a lot of them that I didn't text. But
Trust me, yeah.
No, there's a bunch of them where I'm like, the relationship is such that this would not be weird. Like there's some.
Does this guy's name rhyme with Shebum, your mom? That's Ephraim Salam, for those of you scoring at home.
No, I texted him that he gets back right away. I know him well.
Smile Poophoff? No?
No.
Who else would you have
you're in the wrong sport.
Oh, yeah.
I will, if you want me to read this one to
Mitch
you.
Hornferger.
No. Those are all people I texted.
Thank you. Yeah. I know.
If I read this one to you, you'll know what sport he played.
All right.
All right.
Talk to me.
Okay. It depends on how well he's been playing and how much we would miss him.
Okay.
By the way, let me back up. For those who I texted 14 ex-athletes, how would you feel as a teammate if this happened on your team? And so he goes, it depends on how well he's been playing and how much we would miss him. LOL emoji.
Okay.
I'm halfway joking, but in all seriousness, you're a tight group and you support your teammate no matter what. The reality is, if there's something distracting him off the field, then his mind won't be right on the field, so he would be a liability anyway. Ideally, you have a guy who can separate the two and use the clubhouse as a sanctuary and a means to escape what's happening off the field, but most guys have a tough time doing that. Somebody's whose name rhymed with...
Munter Fence?
No. What would be? No.
I got a million of them in here.
How about Harry Mons? Harry Mons. No. That's not what I'm texting. This person's referencing that person.
Oh, gotcha.
This person says,
okay, yeah.
Yeah, Harry Mons may have been the one guy who was able to use off-the-field issues and distractions as fuel. And he became even more focused, which turned him into a beast. Short answer is supportive. The mentality is everyone else needs to step up, kind of when you lose a guy to injury. You wish they were all like Harry Mons.
Yeah.
But that's rarely the case.
Yeah.
Yeah. Harry Mons.
You were texting with Steph Ment, which would be Jeff Kent for those of you scoring at home.
If I texted with Jeff Kent, he would drive down here and punch me in the face. Are you kidding?
I know who you
This
got
is
that
not
from.
Madison Bumgarner.
Yes.
Who the hell on my phone?
Dude, totally.
All right.
I know who that is, and that's a well-reasoned response.
No, you don't. You think you know who that is?
I do. Yeah.
I'll give you $20 if you nail it on the next guess.
I'm not going to say it on the air.
All right, you say it off the air, and then I'll tell you if you won the $20 or not.
Sounds good.
Did you see his name when I held the phone up?
I did not, actually.
Good, because that would be cheating.
At 55, I could barely even saw you were holding up a phone. Dude, you can show it. I mean, I'm at the point now with my texts, I can't make it any bigger. Like, I'm talking 48-point font on these things now.
Did you cut that, Grandy, when he said I can't make it any bigger?
You breathed over it.
I'm at the point in my life where I can't make it any bigger. All right.
We got that one.
I was too busy going through old Giants rosters trying to figure out who you were texting.
Yeah, you all get to guess.
Benito, Santiago.
Your price will be different. Oh, that's so funny.
The catcher, not Eli. Whiteside. Yeah, thank you. You're blowing up Eli.
Yeah, you
got it.
Eli Whiteside wants to weigh in on Andrew Wiggins. Rich in Fremont. Hey, Rich, what are you doing?
I can't.
Go ahead, Rich.
I'm here listening to you guys have the time of your life. That's what I'm doing.
Well, come on. You got to smile and laugh, you know?
No, I get it. It's just funny to hear all of it. But thanks for taking my call, guys. Listen, I think what it really comes down to it is I like the way the Warriors front office and the team is handling this, because at the end of the day, Andrew is dealing with this the best possible way he knows how. And one of the ways that he knows how to deal with it is to deal with it in a private manner. Now, I don't know if it's mental. I don't know what it is. But even if it is mental, the one thing we have to respect is that everybody who plays this game is human. They're not robots. They're not machines. Yes, they make a lot of money because they play in an exceptional manner. And because of that, they're able to do that. But like the other guy stated, if his mental is not straight when he gets on that court, he's not going to play well. So, and to reference the situation took place a couple of years ago with Paul George. He was in the middle and couldn't play. And they asked me, he said he was in a dark place. So, really at the end of the day, fans want to sit there and yell, "Oh, I deserve." No, you don't. No, you don't.
You know
Andrew
what?
Wiggins, that's his issue.
Rich, you're totally right. But do you hear a lot of people saying that? Like when we say got to respect Wiggins' privacy, I haven't really heard too many people, especially in the last 24 hours, kind of come with the, you got to tell us what's going on. I think it's more about Warrior basketball and what the expectation is going forward, not what's actually happening in Andrew's home,
Okay, but you had that one caller that called in, and he said that.
Right.
He said that as a fan, he said that we do deserve some type of explanation.
Yep,
and I'm saying, no, you don't.
I agree with you.
Don't.
I agree with you, Rich. I agree with you completely. Thanks, Rich.
Yeah, thank you. And we don't know that this is a mental health issue or not. So I always hesitate when we talk about this being a mental health issue because we don't know what this is.
We don't, although people are making that leap because it's obviously not a physical injury, because that you could just report.
We don't know that. And so it could be an undisclosed illness of some sort.
But I don't mean mental health or mental illness, but if you're dealing, let's say, with the death of a family member, that is a mental health issue. Like, that's your emotions, and if you can't get them in a spot where you can work,
sure,
I just think that's why people are making the leap.
I get that.
I'm not disagreeing with you at all.
I'm very hesitant to categorize this as anything other than an undisclosed absence because we really don't know.
Anthony Slates.
Thank you.
Pregame with Steve Kerr in New York on the situation.
As an excused absence.
Oh, yeah. This is a personal issue that he's dealing with, and we expect him back. But it'll remain private.
Are you the one kind of in contact with him? I remember you were last time.
Rick has been in touch with him. I have too. Like I said, we expect him back.
And sooner, is there any clarity? Okay.
Not sure.
Okay, not sure.
He's not on the trip.
No, but that to me sounded different. That's different than what Steve said to us. Do you notice the difference? Yesterday, we expect him back. We don't know when. But he twice with Anthony, we expect him back. And it was kind of like even the intonation goes down.
Right.
We expect him back.
Sooner rather than later.
Back.
Yeah.
In other words, we're not waiting for the postseason.
Right.
That sounded different to me.
In terms of,
I don't know about y'all. I got something from that. I think. I feel
so
like
too.
I got something from that.
Well, I also got that he's not on the trip because have you been in contact with him? Yes, myself and Rick. So you wouldn't be in contact with somebody if they were like in the hotel with you. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So he's not playing until they get home at the earliest.
Seems likely, but they have plane flights to Toronto and Boston.
Right,
they do.
Right.